Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nathalie. I'm a musician, and today I want to talk about tutla again. Today I want to talk to you about facing your fears and chasing your dreams. It's been something that I've been trying to do in the last couple of years, and some of those dreams I have achieved, others are still in progress. And especially seeing the current circumstances that we're living in, I think a lot of us feel limited and maybe uninspired or demotivated to engage in things that we want to achieve in our lives, or because we think like the economy is not stable enough, or well, basically the health situation is very unstable at this point. So I decided that I wanted to help and maybe give you guys a little bit of inspiration and 3 tools that have helped me so far in reaching my dreams. And I hope this video will be something of value to you. So if you dig this, if you think you're helped by this video, then please give this a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. I'd love to hear from you. And without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So the first thing I would recommend you to do is to train your brain into believing that you can succeed at new things and that you are in your element when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone. I think the best way to do that is to create a lot of positive feeling around trying new things and engaging in opportunities that maybe at first scare you a little bit, but maybe you can convince yourself that the adventure is way more important than the fear you have right before you start or right before you dive in. Basically, as a musician, it's something that we very often do because we want to expand our repertoire, so we're learning new things and we're learning new pieces, and in the beginning it seems like such a difficult thing. But by training and by trying every day, spending some time with it, all of a sudden it becomes easy. And I think that's the same thing when it comes to making your brain believe that you're in your element when it comes to getting out of your comfort zone. That was a long sentence. I hope it still makes sense. Maybe a different example could be like as a kid, you hear all these people around you speak. And so you try, and in the beginning it's just bare sound. All of a sudden you start to mumble a bit, and after a couple of months, all of a sudden your tongue figures it out, your vocal cords figure it out, your brain basically figures it out, and you can start speaking, and then you add words to your vocabulary, and it all of a sudden becomes easy. I think it's the same thing when we are trying to reach one of our bigger dreams or smaller dreams, however they might be in size. So yeah, train your brain into believing that you are comfortable when you're getting out of your comfort zone. And I think that will help a lot for the first steps. Secondly, I think it's important that you realize that this is a journey. These are steps that you have to take. It's not gonna be there all of a sudden in 24 hours, right? Especially the bigger your dream, the more you want to outline the process that you're about to engage in, and to make sure that you have things to cross off. And that also gives a very good feeling when you are trying to shape things into to-do lists, or trying to keep you motivated, is if you can check off things. Or maybe this doesn't work for you at all, then I'm sure you can figure something out that does work for you. But I'm definitely one that makes to-do lists and then wants to scratch off things because it makes me feel so much better. I think the best example that I can give you with this one is basically the room where I'm sitting in right now is my room in the US. Originally I'm from Belgium, and 2 years ago that was the first time that I actively started to get on my journey of coming to study here in the US. And it took me 2 years, and it was 2 years of a lot of emotions and ups and downs, and a lot of things that were getting in my way, a lot of things that cleared my way. But in the end, I got here. And basically the thing that got me here most was my division of the whole process into chunkable bites. Bite-sized chunks into bite-sized chunks. What? Chunkable bites? I'm confused right now. Anyway, let's say it's bite-sized chunks. So those small steps, in the beginning, I was obviously very overwhelmed. Studying in the US is a very expensive thing. Then you have all these auditions that you need to do. Depending on the scholarships that you're applying for, you need to apply to 5 schools or maybe 3 schools, and it's a whole thing a whole process that you're going through, and you have a lot of questions. But basically, if you just start at the beginning, which is first getting enough funds, or maybe even before that, trying to figure out in which school you really want to come and study, then figuring out the funds, figuring out where you would live, figuring out the administration, the whole visa process. It all comes one thing at a time. Whatever it is that you want to achieve, make sure you divide it into small steps and you reward yourself after every small step. That kind of goes back to giving your brain evidence and keeping that positive thing. Lastly, it is very likely that you will have setbacks. And the main thing is, do not be discouraged when this happens. This is not a sign that you're not meant to reach your dream. This is not a sign that you're not smart enough or not resourceful enough. I truly think that any setback is just a way of teaching you to be better at a step before you can achieve the next one. I think the best example that I can give you is, well, I already told you that my coming here to the US took me 2 years instead of 1. Not because I was not admitted at schools at first, but because I was denied any financial aid. And in order to get financial aid, I needed to submit a lot of essays and personal statements and study essays. Basically, they ask you to sell yourself and to be worthy of the investment. And so I had not done that. Yes, I had written all those essays, but they were just not good enough or not competitive enough with all the other people that want to come and study here in the US. So I messaged the schools that I was admitted to, explained my situation, and thank God that I did that, because at that time I had no idea that there was such a thing as a deferral, which means that your position as admitted student is held for 1 year, and in that year you don't have to come to the school yet, but you have 365 more days to gather all the funds you need. So I had no idea that existed when I got the news that I was not granted any scholarships. And so thank God that I asked the schools, and it gave me new motivation and new energy to try and reach my goal. So what I did was I reapplied for scholarships. I rewrote all my essays. I gave it to friends of mine who were experts in language and experts in writing and experts in selling yourself. And then I decided to not let it all how do I translate this correctly? To not let it all be just about scholarships. Because what if, again, I would not have a scholarship? So I decided to throw a fundraising event. And I decided to get in contact with as many people as I could. I contacted radio stations and TV and people that I knew were wealthy and maybe wanted to be my patron. And some of those things worked, others didn't, but at the same time, I learned to get myself out there and to keep fighting for my dream and to write a lot of better essays. And in the end, it got me here. So don't think that a setback, however big the setback is, don't think that it's a sign that you're not meant to do this. I truly believe that any setback is just a way for you to learn more, or maybe grow more, or maybe just have better timing. Maybe that sounds a bit weird, but I'm convinced that everything happens when you're ready for it. So yes, there will be setbacks, and yes, it feels very bad when you encounter one. But I think it's very important that you remind yourself that this is part of the learning process and not part of telling you that you can't achieve your goal. Okay? So I hope you remind yourself of that one. And that in combination with training your brain, creating that positive feeling around getting out of your comfort zone, taking the small steps towards your goal, and then not letting yourself get demotivated by setbacks, I think is a great formula to reach your goals and get rid of the fear around it. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that this video helped you a bit, inspired you a bit. I truly think that whatever it is you want to achieve, it is within your reach, and you can, if only you try and you keep trying. So there you have it. Thank you for spending your time with me. I hope you really liked this. Give me some constructive feedback, because this is my very first video and it scared the hell out of me to do this, but here we are, learning something new and facing our fears. Go kill it. Let me know if you achieved one of your dreams, or if you have any other tips for people who might click on this video and then see in the reactions. Other tips of people who have done the same thing. Would be great to have you share your story. Thanks again, and see you next time. Bye!